Today we're going to create terrarium environments. Terrariums are self-contained ecosystems usually composed of tropical vegetation. They tend to create a moist environment within a glass casing. Many sources attribute the origin of the terrarium to Dr. Nathaniel Ward of London, England. In the early 1800s, Dr. Ward was collecting cocoons in covered jars. To his surprise, he discovered tiny plants sprouting and thriving in these jars. If these plants were placed outside, they would die, for the London air was full of coal pollution at that time. His discovery led to the creation of Wardian cases filled with tropical vegetation from across the British Empire. Wardian cases were extremely popular throughout the Victorian era. So let's get on with our project, shall we? Here are our lovely plants. We have a very tall palm, the polka dot plant, and they come in all kinds of lovely textures. For a ground cover, there's baby tears, which is very soft and plush. And even more soft and plush with a little ferny quality is Selaginella, a carnivorous plant, the octopus plant. So little bugs are collected, they just stick to this part of the plant and yep, oh, there's one right there. Do you see it? Woohoo! And the very popular Venus flytrap. So those are our plants. Now let's look at our layering. The first layer to add is the gravel layer. It maintains drainage. Next, a thin layer of charcoal is placed over the gravel. Charcoal soaks up odor, and since we are creating a moist environment, it could indeed stink. A thin layer of sphagnum moss is placed over the charcoal. The moss soaks up water and creates a nice barrier so that topsoil does not drop down to the bottom of the pot. The final material layer is moist potting soil. Now it is time to add the plants. We could have made it shallower, but I wanted to give it lots of space. Let's do a little wine glass. Tap it down a little bit. This lost its root, but I'm hoping it can regenerate. It'll reroot itself. And I really like the light green fern with the polka dot. Cheers. I'm going to use a coarser gravel. Sometimes you need to tap it down. I'm going to put it off center a little bit. Like a nice healthy polka dot plant in there. And here they are. Aren't they lovely? We're going to do one last thing. We're going to water them. And that little fish is going to come in handy for this. His water is chock full of nutrients for these plants. And he needs his water changed anyway. All right. You don't want to overwater, but you want to saturate. all in all, they look pretty good. There's a little bit of condensation forming on the outside, but not that much. So I think it can be where it is in direct sun. Now the mason jar, which is the only enclosed environment, it has quite a bit of condensation. So I think I'm going to have to take it out of direct sunlight and put it in an indirect location because I'm afraid the plants will begin to fry. So if you have a closed vessel, make sure you put it in indirect light. All right, the plants have really taken off in the wine glass. I think that polka dot plant will reroot itself. So cheers to a job well done.